sooner or later. It says it's live. And I'm going to try to bang out something. I'm not really motivated to do it. So I figure that I do a YouTube live stream so that hopefully that kind of makes me or forces me to be productive. Anyways, what am I doing? I need to wire up this an item removal from this application that I'm building. And I kind of complicated things too much because I was trying to use a functional programming paradigm uh, for something that I feel like probably doesn't lend itself well to it. You know, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is my emulator, and this thing is so fast when I'm using the Haxum whatever versus Hyper-V. Hyper-V is just dog slow, so I just turned it off, and I'm using the Haxum to power my emulator, and it's just fast and responsive. All right, so how's this going to work? Um, la la la. There's a lot of things I got to fix on here, but we ordered some Denny's, okay, and get a shake. You do that, and then you can review. And these are the items that are in my cart, and I can say checkout. And when I do checkout, it's going to load some map, and then I can say, all right, I want to pay with a MasterCard, and then let's place an order. And so then it's finding a courier. I have a cancel window right here. John Roach is found. He'll be my courier. Arrives in 3 minutes. I can call or message as options. And this is all a simulation. And then sooner or later it says my order has been delivered. Charge. I need to fix this because that's not the price. And then payment type. Okay. So that's the app that I'm working on. So the thing is what I demoed when I'm adding items, that works fine. It's when I'm removing items that I need to have various pages respond to the removal of items that are in my cart. So what I mean by that is, like, if I click on snacks and I select oranges and grapes, okay. Um, and this does the removal work right here? No. Yeah, so I gotta fix all this. Let's start over one more time. All this stuff is broke right now. But at least when I add items, the cart icon in the header of my application is responsive, and it reflects items that are added. Okay, so like you see this right here. It says this cart has one item, and then I do sour grapes. This cart has two items. And if I go to review, see the cart still has two items, and these are two items in here. Okay. Question is, if we go back to snacks, these items are still selected. All right. And if I add an additional orange, it's updated. If I go to review, we see it's two oranges, one grape. All right. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And so the adding is fine. The adding works when I'm adding items. It's when I change my mind and I want to remove an item from the cart that if I go to restaurants and I go to Domino's, I'll get some chicken, right? Add that, and I get some bread. Come here. Add that. Review. Okay. Like, all this is fine. I got two oranges, three, four, five. So when I want to remove items, that it just blows up, and it should blow up now because I've just deleted a whole bunch of boilerplate, boilerplate, whatever you call it, code, a whole bunch of plumbing that just wasn't working. And it was just hella complicated. Um, so like when I remove all this from the cart, this cart up here should get updated, this cart icon, and these items right here should be deselected or unselected, right? And that's not the case right now. Okay. So what I want to do is I was using like this functional programming paradigm, and I had like a list of functions that were meant for handling an event of an item being removed, and doing that across classes that operate on the list of functions to respond to that. I just didn't have it implemented right. It was just very cumbersome. It's very just very error prone. Now the adding of items to the cart, like all that stuff works fine, and I use the same technique. But removing items from the cart, that's is causing issues. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to get these two tests to pass. Okay. And where are these two tests? Adding item twice and then removing one results in one item. Okay. So we have a navigation bar view model. We have a shopping cart view model. Then we also have an offerings view model. And it's the offerings that we're operating on, but it looks like navigation is required as part of some dependencies. Shopping cart is probably what we want to verify. No, it's the navigation bar view model is what we want to verify for this test. Okay, so I want to make this thing pass, and the focus is on removing an item from the cart. So how do I accomplish this? Well, first we could go to offerings view model, and what was that right there? Okay, offerings view model is this right here, and I just want to add a new event on here. I want to add a CLI event, and I want to call it item removed. Okay, item removed event, and here item removed dot publish, and the test looks like the navigation bar is probably going to subscribe to this offerings view model in which I'm having or adding this item removed event. Okay, so let's silo some events together and say item removed equal event, something like that. Okay, I don't have any red squigglies anymore. Okay, now what? So in my setup stage, I kind of want to say something like, how do I want to do this? I'm testing the navigation bar, right? And so the navigation bar, like, I know all this is like way too many lines of code for a test. I get that part, but I don't care right now. I just want the stuff to pass. And then I'll make it a little assignment to refactor all this. All right, so what I want to do is I want to have something like, how we want to do this? We want to say, how do we want to do this? Eventually, I just want this thing to pass, right? But this this navigation bar view model needs to respond to the event of this offerings. And so I feel like this navigation bar view model actually probably knows what the offering is. Mm, let's figure this out. Let's just make it pass right now, then I refactor later. So offerings view model dot, and then item removed dot add. Okay. And we could say function and then something called X. And then over here, we want this navigation bar to, what does this navigation bar view model have? It has, what is this? Those are commands. That's a command. This is your shopping cart. Okay, so it looks like where's the shopping cart at? It looks like the shopping cart is what we want to update. So here we have shopping cart, and that's probably going to be of a cart state. And let me let foo equal something. Okay. This X is an item. So we could say item right here. And then offerings view model dot item removed add. Okay. Here is where we can potentially take this and we want to, I should have something called get state on here. Function for what? Function if the cart is empty, then we don't do anything. But in the case that the cart is non-empty, then we probably want to, what's going on over here? Then we probably want to do something. What do we want to do? Well, we want to take the cart and we want to take the items and we want to do what with it? We want to say items and and then say item dot item ID is what this thing is supposed to be. And maybe I can annotate that to enforce it. Okay. Now what? We should say that it should be, what's the name of this test again? Adding an item twice and removing one results in one item. Okay. Quantity should equal, I don't know if it's supposed to be, should equal 1, but I don't know if quantity is, no, quantity. And then we can do something like, theoretically, I should be able to do something like this. No, is that going to work? I don't know. It should work. I also have to pattern match on quantity and do a verification on one. But I feel like that should work. Okay. This add over here, item removed. Go back over here, item removed, publish. Okay. Oh, we need to publish what? This publish is just for exposing this event to outside clients. There should be a trigger that we want to do. And so that trigger is going to be handled in, there should be a remove from cart function right here. And so here we probably want to say something like x dot, we probably want to do this at the end and say x dot item remove dot, it's supposed to be a trigger here, item removed dot trigger, and then you have your item. Okay. Now this item isn't defined. It's an argument right here, which I probably want to do that. Bring this down here. Control KU. And do something like this, where we can say we could do something like this, where we could say item quantity dot item, and then over here item remove dot trigger that. And then for the renderer we do the same thing, item remove dot trigger renderer dot item, something like that. Okay. I think that's okay. Okay. Control B. Now, is that really going to solve my issue? I have 2 failing tests right now. Is that going to resolve it? go back over here to my test. And theoretically, I think it should work. And it doesn't. So over here, expected quantity 1, but it was quantity 2. Okay. So let's put a breakpoint right here, F9, Control RT. Control RT gonna work? Oh no, my shortcut doesn't work. Repeat last run. My shortcut doesn't work anymore. It used to be Control RT. It used to be Control RT, but that shortcut's no longer working. So instead of using the keyboard, I guess I'm forced to use the mouse. All right, so remove from cart, step into that. Okay. And quantity to item ID. And then we get this renderer. Okay. This renderer is valid. Okay. We update the render quantity to 1 from 2. Okay. This item removed that trigger. Did we subscribe to it? I thought we did. F11. And here it is right here. And what we were trying to do is we were trying to... How am I doing this way up here? Well, I don't know why I did this up here, because verify should always be down here, but it looks like I was doing verify over here. This cart. All right, so let's go back for a second. Our quantity was updated right here. And what we should have done was we should have this render.quantity, that theoretically should have updated the reference that we have on our offerings view model. And so theoretically, we should have had something like offerings view model dot offerings, and then it's like the very first one dot quantity should equal 1. Now that should be right. The thing is we don't really want to have this over here. This is what we want to verify. That's what we want to verify. So we can have, like, I'm rigging this horribly. Like, this is bad. It'll be a separate video for me to refactor all this stuff. But what you want to have is like something like let mutable quantity decremented, or you could say let mutable item removed equals false. But then we can say that this item removed is going to mutate to the value of this offerings view model, whatever. And over here, what is this? Why don't you like this? So this expression should be, I'm assigning a bit to this item removed. Okay, and it's saying that this expression was expected to have type int, but okay. So what, you want me to get rid of this right here? Okay. And so then we can go and say that our something like this. We should say item removed should equal true. Control Shift B. Still have two failed tests. Let's see if that updates it. I think it should, man. That wasn't good. And it didn't. The test still fails. It's expected true, but was false. Okay. I think that should have worked. No, that's not going to work because I need to filter on a specific item in offerings. So you could say offerings. Yeah, we could say let found equal, and then you have this offerings. Do I want to pull a link in here? Offerings. This is a sequence dot filter where you have a function x goes to x dot item dot, probably could just be item. Let's say ID equals item dot item ID. Okay. And then we can say that the found item dot quantity should equal 1. That's probably what we want. Control Shift B. And let's see if you, it doesn't like that. Oh, okay. Can I do a find? Now is that find going to, okay. Control Shift B. Are you gonna pass? And that passes. Okay. And so now what? Well, that passes. The how do I want to refactor this? I could start off with the name foo, and this would be foo would be handle removal. But all this is proving is, or conveying, is that the event that we provided is, well, it works. That is all it's pretty much doing. This is what we added. It may have a similar structure except for the mutable bool, but in the code behind of one of our files, we're going to have a subscription to this offerings view model.item removes, and we have to provide a handler. Okay. What about this? Removing item updates cart quantity. That's kind of what we did already. So over here, they're verifying the shopping cart view model, and I say they, I added an item to my offerings view model, and then within the offerings view model, I removed the item, and in my shopping cart view model, I want to verify that there's no items on my cart. Okay. Let me just make sure that this was offerings centric. And let me just make sure that I was verifying on the right view model. No, I was doing navigation bar view model over here. That's what I was testing. Okay. So let me see something. What if I navigation bar view model dot, okay, and it just has a cart with items in it, a shopping cart, okay. And so then that one, this one had a function empty, in which I don't do anything, but if it's non-empty, it's a cart, then we want to take the cart that we have and say items dot items what? This items is this is not a, what is that? What's the data structure? I thought items was a dictionary. Yeah, it is a dictionary. So you do like items, and then you can say item dot item ID, and that is going to, or you could just say items dot any. No, I'm supposed to have one because I add two items. Okay. Over here, quantity. Yeah, so I could take this right here and say that this cart that has the items, its quantity should equal 1. That should work. Okay, maybe not. Quantity 1. Now I can get rid of this over here. Just put that on my clipboard. Okay. Control Shift B. And that doesn't work. Okay, so adding item twice. Alright, so the shopping cart on the navigation bar isn't updating. Put a breakpoint there. Are we even hitting this? We are hitting it. And item ID is 2-liter Coke. 2-liter Coke. Quantity is going to probably still say 2. Quantity 2. Okay. So in this navigation bar, in the navigation bar, how do you want to do this? This is the item that we want to remove. And so kill this. And it's just not being done yet. So we would have to say something like C dot items. And I think we would just, is that it's a dictionary. C dot items. If that's a dictionary, then I should be able to say remove. Item dot item ID. Okay. And then what? Well, that could be ignored after we perform the remove. And then we can say, yeah, I think that's fine. Control Shift B. No, it's not. Oh, that's because we removed the entire thing instead of just decrementing the quantity. Okay. And okay, that makes sense. So then we can say item cart.items. And then I can say this right here. And theoretically, I should just be able to say dot quantity. And I want to just say equal I want to do something like this, but I think quantity is typed as actual like quantity structure and not an integer. And it is. So then we can say, we could do something like this. We could probably say, I think it was like a value from quantity, which is this right here. And then we could just do quantity, and then value from quantity minus 1. Um, and we want to mutate that, not assign it. Okay. And so then I think that should work. No, it doesn't. I got it red squiggly because this quantity isn't mutable. Okay. So I can't mutate it, but maybe I can copy it. So this item right here, okay, let's do something like this. Could do let let found equal, and we do this right here, and then yeah, can I call you right back? All right, bye. So then I have let found equals, and that's item quantity. Okay, and so then from here, I could probably say something like, how do I want to do this? I could say update equals, and then you could say found with, and then you can say quantity equal, and then I could say found dot quantity minus 1, something like that. Why don't you like this? Oh, because quantity is still a type. So then I could say quantity, and then I could say value from quantity. Um, that, am I doing this right? No, value from quantity, found out quantity. I don't know yet. This is supposed to be let update equal, and then say minus 1, like that. I think all this is going to be my, why the okay. And so then this update will be this right here. And Control Shift B. I think all this stuff is just going to be my logic that gets thrown inside this navigation bar. So that test finally passes. Yeah, so I think this logic that I just fleshed out is going to be extracted into my navigation bar view model for its handler of the item remove notification that I still got to figure out how to set up, because I set it up in the offerings, but should the navigation bar even know what an offerings view model is? I'm not sure yet. I don't think so, but I'm not sure yet. Okay. So now what? Well, the other test that needs to pass is this removing item updates cart quantity. Here we're verifying that the cart view model quantity should be false. And we add an item to the cart and then we remove the item from the cart. Okay. Okay. Now what? So there's a, how did I do this? Over here, yeah, there is a offerings view model item removed that the cart ultimately subscribed to. Well, the test subscribes to it, but in actuality, this logic is relative to the cart or to this navigation bar. So I meant to say navigation bar right now seems as if it's going to subscribe to an offerings view model. And if it doesn't subscribe to an offerings view model, this navigation bar will probably subscribe to an interface that exposes this event, which will probably be better. It looks at an interface instead of a concrete view model class. Okay, so where are we at? Where do we put this item removed? I don't know. I guess I'll put it anywhere. I'll put it right here. No, no, no. Oh, shoot. It definitely has to go after offerings view model gets declared. So then there's a handle removal. And no, what if I just copy this whole thing? Um, so instead of a navigation bar view model, this is a shopping cart view model. And the shopping cart view model has item quantities. Okay. Quantities is just an observable collection. Okay. So then I could say something to the effect of what? Hmm. Let me get rid of all this stuff and just say that, because at the end of the day, it is looking at the shopping cart. Okay, so I could do shopping cart dot items quantities. Um, dot. Now, I don't, I may not necessarily want to remove the item, I just want to decrement it. But if it's 0, then it should be removed ultimately. So the first thing I want to do is let found equal shopping cart view model dot item quantities dot. I guess I could do find. Nope. I could do sequence dot find, and then I could say function what x goes to x dot item dot id equals item dot id. Okay, so that'll give me an item quantity. Then what? Well, then I can say, but this find is creating a copy. I probably don't want to do that. I probably don't want to use FP or functional programming to process it because it's going to be immutable. It's going to be a copy. So I use link and I say where function x okay, and then I could say, or do I just say single? Maybe that. All right, and then what? Well, then I can just say found dot quantity, which is just a quantity type, yeah, equals do the same thing over again, equals quantity, and then what? Say value from quantity found dot quantity um, -1, something like that. Okay. Uh, I think that's supposed to be mutated. It's not mutable. Okay. If that's not mutable, then I have to say let update equal and then I can say something like how do I want to do this? Let update equal and then I could say found with quantity equals and then something like that. And then what? Um then maybe I could just say found equals update. And says that it's not mutable. Okay, so the other thing that I can do is maybe get the index of the element that's in here and then remove it and then insert the update in the same index of the collection. So maybe I could say let index equal, and I'm not sure how to do this, but it should be like an index of. Okay. Index of found is what it should give me. All right. And so then I guess I could do a shopping cart dot remove, and then just pass in the found. But then do a insert, and then pass in index and update, something like that. Okay. Do we ignore since this removes, or since this yields a bool? And after I do that, this is shopping cart dot item quantities any equals false. That's what we want to verify on. Okay, so what did I do? I said found. What I really want to do is I just want to say, I just want to do some logic like this, like if, I don't know why I'm doing parentheses, if found dot quantity, or if I could say if value from found dot quantity equals 1. I don't even have to do this here. I could just literally. I don't know what I want to do. Yeah, I'll add it back. If the value from quantity, found out quantity, equal 1, and this is before we do the removal, then what? You just remove the item, right? So we'll take this and we'll just call remove. So we'll do this, then say remove. Um, but this needs the, oh, we just remove found like that. Shoot, I don't know if that red squiggle is about else. Something like that. And now I'm losing myself. What's wrong with this? It says this insert takes a unit. Okay. This index is defined. This update is defined. says that update is of type item quantity. And I'm trying to do inserts. Expression was expected of type bool. Why are you expected of type bool? Expression was expected of type bool, but here is unit. I don't know what this is about. If I do that there, then all that stuff is fine. No, it's not. If, then, else. Oh, I got it. Because that's returning a bool. If I ignore that, everything's happy. Okay. So how's this? What is this actually doing? We we call this handle removal passing an item. We find the item by traversing through the observable collection or the IEnumerable of item quantities. And then we say if the value, if the quantity of what we found is already 1, then just remove it from our collection. Okay, that's what this line is doing right here. Else, if it's not 1, I'm curious if I should say equal 1 or less than 2. I'll leave it equal 1, whatever. Else, if it's not equal to 1, let's get the index of that item that we found. Let's create a value which is essentially a copy of the item that we found, but we're going to update its quantity to whatever quantity that it had originally minus 1. And then let's remove the item that we found and let's insert with the index that we originally had our updated item in which the update is quantity. So I think that should work. Control Shift B, that should work. That should work. So this right here, this should go green right here. You should go green, my friend. And it does go green. Because I'm Scott Nimrod. Yeah. Okay. So this code is horrible, right? I don't care right now. I just want to get this stuff to pass. Then I got to figure out how to throw all this inside the actual shopping cart view model and navigation bar view model. With that said, I probably should put a breakpoint so I could discover it. How do I do this? F9? Nope. F9. Put a breakpoint there. The breakpoint is already over here. But I'll put one again right here. And these are the two items that actually I could do better than that. I could do ignore refactor. I guess I gotta put a angle bracket thingamajig in here. Could do that. Cause that's what G's do. Okay. So now I have these two items that are marked, and maybe tomorrow I'll figure out how to retrofit these guts in my test to the actual view models that need to respond to this item remove event. I don't have the gas in me right now, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me commit this and updated failed tests to accommodate or updated failed tests fixed failed tests need to refactor into app. And that's it. So it's a cool little exercise, and I'm tapping out. And how do I do this? Stop broadcast.